The Last of Us 2 is released today, and I am kind of extremely torn about something. Also, the 2020 class of the Video Game Hall of Fame was announced today, and I have some thoughts. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
Alright, so as always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario_World. Also, follow my Facebook page, Super Dario World. I update everything there. Quick mention, this weekend I won't be doing a podcast in Spanish. I will not. I will be spending all of today playing The Last of Us 2, but I'm a little torn. So, here's the situation, alright? I have a busy weekend ahead of me. Tomorrow I have a thing to do in Mexico, and then you got Father's Day, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play at all after today. So today I'm going to be spending it playing the game. However, I'm not overall extremely excited about it. For those of you who don't know, The Last of Us Part 2, it's a PS4 exclusive, comes out today. It's it's a fan favorite franchise. It's about a post-apocalyptic future with zombies. It's mostly a story about two characters. I don't want to get too much into the plot because I might do spoilers for anybody if you want to play it. But it's an extremely, extremely good video game created by Naughty Dog. It's a great story, beloved characters, very interesting, fun gameplay if you're into zombies. To me, it's probably the funnest video game with zombies that I've played. And also, it's probably one of the best stories I've played in a video game. So I love it because of that. It was one of the games that brought my love of video games back. You know, it's one of those times when you're kind of like, all right, I'm starting to get out of it. I'm starting to move on to other things. I'm starting to spend money on other stuff. Then I played The Last of Us in a friend's house, and I was like, I gotta get a PS3. I need one because I want to play the shit out of this game. So it was one of those. It's one of those games. It's a very beloved franchise. It's near and dear to my heart. So, as the game has been getting closer to launch, I've been hearing rumors that the story pretty much sucks balls. And I've been hearing them online, but the biggest person that I've heard it from is from my kid brother, Eric. Eric, actually, we also have a podcast together, Super Dario Brothers. We haven't done one in a couple of weeks, but we'll probably come back next week. Anyway, yesterday, the whole day, whenever we had an interaction, because he lives in the apartment with me, whenever we had an interaction, he was like, "Dude, can I tell you the story for The Last of Us? Can I tell you the story?" Because he already saw it. He saw. I don't know why he would do this because he's a fucking psycho. But he already saw all the clips from the game, so he already knows the story. And he says the story's shit. Now he's not saying anything about the gameplay. He says it looks really good visually. Like it's a very pretty, very crappy story. And so I'm very torn. And the reason why I guess he wants to see my heartbreak when when he tells me the story, because he knows how I get a wee bit crazy when certain things don't make any sense. But I think he also was trying to save me from spending money on it. Now I'm too deep in it at this point. I had already done the pre-order. I was already excited for it. And one way or another, it's one of those things that I have to play it because what if you're wrong? What if it just wasn't your cup of tea and it turns out it was actually great? So I'm going to play it. And he made a request, and he requested that I please stream when I do it because he wants to be able to see my face when I play it, when I go through the story. He wants to see my reaction. Also, he wants to consider it kind of like a public service, you know, for those of you who are considering buying the game, you can check it out through me. So I'll be doing that today. I will be streaming The Last of Us Part 2. My channel, I'll do Twitch this time because last time I did Mixer. So Twitch, the channel is Super Dario World today. I got a lot of stuff to do. After here, I have to hit up Costco, and I have to go hit up Best Buy to get the game. So, and then I gotta feed my monitor, and I gotta work out real quick. So I calculate that about 3 to 4 p.m. I'll start streaming, and I'm gonna do it the whole day. I'm gonna be up there the whole day, either having the time of my life or suffering. I don't know how entertaining it's gonna be, but if you want to check out the game and you want to see my reaction to it, it'll be up there. I'm not happy about this, honestly. I'm very torn. I'm very torn. I am. I almost don't want to start playing it. It's a very bizarre feeling, but like I said, today, Friday, June 19th, about starting 3 or maybe 4. Let's say 4 p.m. and around 4 p.m. My Twitch channel is Super Dario World. I will be streaming The Last of Us Part 2 there if you want to join me. If not, I'll probably do a review of it on Monday as I continue playing it. So that's that. On the other piece of news is that the Video Game Hall of Fame announced their class of 2020, and I just fucking hated it. The class of 2020 is complete and total bullshit. We talked about it on the morning show. For those of you who don't know, I work for a radio station called Rock 105.3, and that's in the morning show. Every year we talk about the Video Game Hall of Fame because it usually leads to a big fight, and so. The nominees this year, the 12 finalists this year for the Hall of Fame were Bejeweled, Centipede, Frogger, GoldenEye, Guitar Hero, King's Quest, Minecraft, NBA Jam, Nokia's Snake Game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Uncharted 2 Amongst Thieves, and Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Now, to me, it's a pretty much a no-brainer which ones would go into the Hall of Fame this year. And I mean, definitely easy. All 4 are easy choices for me. You got Frogger, that's a classic. It's a platformer classic. Everybody and their mother who were alive at that time played Frogger. Like, it's a classic. It's a very influential game, very important for all the games that came afterwards. Then we got, by the way, this is in no particular order. I'm just going in the order that I mentioned them. GoldenEye 007, one of the funnest games I've ever played. It's probably the funnest multiplayer shooter the N64 had. Maybe that whole generation had. The thing that made that game was the multiplayer. It's actually pretty funny. That game, actually the N60, a lot of the games in the N64 were great because of a lot of mistakes that they were, because they were rushed, but they came out great. And so GoldenEye was just so much fun. So much fun playing by yourself, playing with friends. It had a lot of replay value. It did a lot for the shooters in general. So to me, that's an easy in. Then we got King's Quest, which is a classic of adventure storytelling game. It's the dynamics and a lot of the game dynamics are very, very influential for games that came afterwards. Any adventure game that came afterwards took a lot from King's Quest, and to this day we see the bones in there, so it's very influential. And last but not least, Super Smash Bros. Melee. To me, that's my favorite Super Smash Bros. The Melee. That's the one that came out for the GameCube. I'm not sure if it's probably the single game that I have the most amount of game hours in it. Cause I remember just getting Mewtwo alone. You have to win like 500 fights in a row. So just that alone, it's a game that still has tournaments to this day. It's a fan favorite. I love all the Smash Brothers, but I think that's the one that I've played the most because my favorite character there is it has its best balance. I don't like my favorite character was Fox, by the way. I don't like what they did to him in the future games, on the upcoming games like the Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think they nerfed him a little bit. I don't like that. I don't appreciate it. But it's is it Super Smash Brothers or any? Well, I think in the Pokemon franchise is the one that I've spent the most hours on. But overall, I think the game that I played the most is probably Super Smash Bros. Melee. Just single game. So to me, 4 easy choices there: Frogger, GoldenEye, King's Quest, and Super Smash Bros. Melee. Also, I think it's probably the funnest fighter game out there. And so, at least to me. And so we got the class that was announced this year, the inductees, the 4 games that are going to be inducted, and not impressed at all. First off, the one that I'm okay with, King's Quest. King's Quest got in there. Like, I understand it's very important, very influential, should be in there. Of course, got it. No argument here. The other 3 are somewhat head scratchers. Now, the one that's the least head scratcher to me is Minecraft. Now, I am not a Minecraft guy, but building games are something that's been popular in humanity since forever. Legos have been popular. Any miniatures have been popular. Lincoln Logs have been popular. So human beings in general like building stuff. So transferring that into a video game format makes sense. I personally prefer Ark Survival Evolved, which is basically the rated R version of Minecraft because you tame dinosaurs and you fight and you shoot, and it's a lot more fun for me. I've never really played Minecraft. It's just I don't like it when things look crappy. I don't like how it looks visually, and that one looks extremely crappy. So never really into it. But I understand it's very influential. It's a big franchise to this day, a major franchise, maybe one of the biggest, at least right now. So I understand it. I don't hate it. Next, we have Nokia Snake, which I get it. The Snake game, if you don't remember, it's like you start off with a line, and you're collecting dots on your phone, and the more dots you collect, the longer the snake gets, and it's harder for you to survive. And if you I believe touch the snake, then you lose, or if you get out of the square, you lose. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, fun, enjoyable, but Hall of Fame worthy? I don't think so. It's beautiful in its simplicity, I guess, and like I said, it's enjoyable, but I don't think it's, first off, it hasn't aged well at all, because I don't think, like, you have to if you have to specify Nokia Snake, that means that it's not around anymore, man. It hasn't it hasn't evolved. It's not that transcendent, and most people, I mean, if you didn't have a Nokia phone, that means that you didn't get to play it. Now, granted, if you had a Nokia phone, you probably still have it. It's probably still working, but but overall, having it go into the Video Game Hall of Fame. So you're saying that this was better than Super Smash Bros. Melee. You're saying that it was better than GoldenEye. You're saying that it was better than Frogger. I don't think so. Not even close. So putting that one, like a mobile game too. I understand it was important for the mobile game industry, I guess. But still, give me a fucking break. Like you should have at least some kind of standards for it. This is just in many ways brutal. And you know what? No, in most ways it's pretty brutal. Like, I understand some like simple games like Pong was a lot of fun, and it was extremely simple. But this one, I don't see a solid argument for it. Like, I don't know any people who are like hardcore Nokia Snake fans. I don't see any tournaments for it. I don't see like much of a, what's it called, like a ravenous fan base asking for this. I don't see it. Honestly, after the Nokia, I don't even remember playing it anywhere else. So this was just a horrible choice. And finally, the final pick was Bejeweled. So Bejeweled is kind of like a predecessor to Candy Crush. And to me, it's like, all right, well, it's one of those Connect 3 games to make this appear. So first off, it's already kind of stealing stuff from Tetris. It's very similar to Tetris, except it's literally a Connect 3 game. So if you play Candy Crush, you understand it. It's very simple dynamic. But if you've been overtaken by another franchise, in this case would be King's Crush, that means that you shouldn't be Hall of Fame worthy, right? To a degree, because Bejeweled, I believe, still exists. It's just nobody cares. Nobody cares about Bejeweled anymore. In fact, they barely cared about it back in the day. Candy Crush is the one that's really taken over, and Candy Crush, I think, is also kind of disappearing because, yeah, it's a simple thing that you can play, but there's something about mobile games that annoy me in the Video Game Hall of Fame. I get it. It still counts as a video game. It's still important. It's still fun, but it's kind of extremely basic, and it's just flashy. And I don't know. I don't see it even beating out. I don't understand. Like, simplicity is not a bad thing, but I don't understand how the Snake game, the Nokia Snake, or Bejeweled beat out Frogger. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. Like, the other ones I could maybe understand the argument for. I don't agree with it at all. But beating out Frogger, that's a classic. That's one of the biggest franchises of its time. And like I said, it laid that foundation for a lot of stuff that followed. And in some ways, Frogger is just a more complicated Nokia Snake. Or if you want to see it the other way, Nokia Snake is a simplified version of Frogger because it doesn't have any cars chasing after you. So this is just it was a bad class overall, really, really weak class. I'm honestly extremely disappointed. I thought that the people who were making this Hall of Fame were actually gamers, But clearly I'm wrong. Clearly the people making this Hall of Fame are just completely out of it. I made the argument with Eddie before that maybe he believes very strongly that the old game should get first. I kind of tend to lean towards it should be the best game. So I would have separated the categories. I would have been like, all right, at least one game has to be old, and the other one, it's a free-for-all. It could be kind of newer, or it should be on the newer ones. But they don't listen to me. Anyway, that's it for today. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDarioPeriodWorld. Like I said, Last of Us Part 2, streaming today, Twitch, Super Dario World, that's the channel. Let's just say 4 p.m. Fuck it, 4 p.m. If you care to join me, like I said, I'll be there. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again next week.